To draw NH4 plus, we have to start by finding the total valence electrons. And by doing this, we have to find the valence electrons of the nitrogen, 4 hydrogens, as well as looking into this positive charge. So starting off, we know that nitrogen is in the 15th group, which has 5 valence electrons. And then we have hydrogen, which is in the first group, which we know there's 1 valence electron, but we have to multiply that by 4, so that gives us 4 valence electrons. So adding them up, we have 5 plus 4, but we have to subtract that 1 because it is a positive charge of 1. So in total, we get 8 valence electrons. Moving down, we have to find the Lewis structure. So we know that nitrogen would be the central atom because hydrogen cannot be. And we do this by including single bonds to all 4 hydrogens. And each single bond contains 2 valence electrons. So in total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which completely satisfies the octet rule for the nitrogen and includes all of our valence electrons. Now, moving on to the electron pair geometry, we know it is tetrahedral because it has 4 structural electron pairs. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, the ideal bond angle of this would be 109.5 because it has this angle allows each of the atoms to be equally spaced between each other at the most distance they can be apart from each other. So for the molecular geometry, we know it's still tetrahedral because it has the central atom does not have any lone pairs coming off of it. Moving on to polarity, we know it's nonpolar because we look at the electronegativity, which is nitrogen for nitrogen and hydrogen. And even though nitrogen has a larger electronegativity, this structure is tetrahedral, so these 4 atoms of hydrogen are equally placed between each other and disperses the electronegativity equally, which makes it nonpolar. It doesn't pull in any specific way to a single atom. In terms of intermolecular forces, we know that it does have London dispersion forces because all molecules have that. And we also know it's hydrogen bonding because for hydrogen bonding, we know that it only bonds to the nitrogen, the oxygen, and the fluorine. And for this molecule, the hydrogens are bonding to nitrogen.